Hi, welcome to Polyphonic Press. I'm Jeremy Boyd, and today I'm going to be looking at the second album from Sloan, entitled Twice Removed. Here we go. So this is Sloan's second album. After the success of their debut album Smeared, they were quickly signed to Geffen Records. Smeared was more of a grunge-inspired album, and journalists often referred to Sloan as Canada's answer to Nirvana. Frustrated with that label, they took a drastic turn with their second album, releasing something that was more melodic and sort of inspired by 60s pop music. It didn't have any of the heavy guitars that are often associated with grunge music. Geffen didn't really promote the album because it didn't really fit in with the commercial sound at the time, and they felt that they had sort of drifted too far from what had made them popular in the first place. Geffen spent more time promoting Weezer's debut album, and as a result, Twice Removed was a commercial failure in the United States. Sloan were dropped by Geffen shortly after the release of Twice Removed. However, at the end of 1994, Spin magazine declared it one of the best albums you didn't hear that year, and it has gone on to become one of the most successful Canadian albums of all time. In 1996, Canadian music magazine Chart Attack conducted a poll asking people what they thought the best Canadian album of all time was, and Twice Removed came in at number 1. The production on this album is somewhat lo-fi, it's very straightforward, and it's pretty stripped down. For the first couple years of the 90s, the big production style of the 80s were kind of dying out, but they were still there. But by 1994, that sound had really become outdated. The unique thing about Sloan is that each member writes their own songs. So when Andrew Scott, who for the most part plays the drums, comes out on his own song, he steps out in front, puts on a guitar, and plays the song as the frontman of the band. Chris Murphy, who typically plays bass, goes back on the drums, and Jay Ferguson, who's the guitar player, puts on the bass. They also do this at their live shows, and I really can't think of another band that does this as part of their regular routine. It's a really cool thing, especially when you hear that their drummer is a really good guitar player and singer and songwriter. The defining songs on this album, I think, are Pen Pals, I Hate My Generation, and Snowsuit Sound. To me, this is what Sloan do best, really good rock and roll songs with great guitar parts and clever and humorous lyrics. I especially like I Hate My Generation. Given the title, it kind of speaks for itself. It's really about the apathy of Generation X and how they should care more about the world. But as time kind of goes on, it becomes more of a timeless song and can be applied to multiple generations of young people. I think my favorite song on this album is People of the Sky, which was the second single released from the album. This initially wasn't supposed to be the second single from the album. Initially it was going to be I Hate My Generation. But when they were filming the video for that song, they got a call from Geffen Records saying they had changed their mind and they were going with People of the Sky instead. The song itself is very interesting. It doesn't really have a chorus. It just kind of has a lot of heavy lyrics in the verses, kind of like a Bob Dylan song where the chorus is kind of one or two lines and the verses are more heavy lyrically. Really, the chorus is an instrumental part with this constant guitar riff that you hear throughout the song. Sloan are one of my favorite bands of all time, and this is definitely one of their best albums, and arguably the follow-up to this album, One Chord to Another, is another step in the right direction in terms of their creative ability. If you're unfamiliar with this band or you only know their singles, I would highly recommend this album. I don't think there's a weak song on here. It's just a great overall record. So anyway, let me know what you guys think of Twice Removed by Sloan. If you'd like to suggest a classic album for me to review, please leave that in the comments as well. Be sure to subscribe so you know when I post a new video, and you can check us out on Twitter and Facebook. I guess that's about it. Take it easy.